Okay, today is the 25th day of the month of April 2023. And today, actually, is World Malaria Day. Are you suffering from malaria? Now you ask me, is it possible for anybody to go to check the system and discover that there's no malaria parasite in his body here in Africa, Nigeria in particular? Is it possible? I don't know, depending on how good you are taking care of yourself. But the level of garbages we see around and the rate that malaria bites people these days, I don't think, mosquitoes bite people. I don't think there's anybody that the system will not contain even a small amount of malaria parasites. Okay, that's why I want to talk about it today. Okay, World Malaria Day, eradicating malaria through joint efforts. And that's why I have a very, prominent people coming from different walks of life in a spirit of joint effort to tackle this malaria issue. Of course, the theme of this year is time to deliver zero malaria, invest, innovate, and implement. That is the theme for this year. Well, I have guests that has joined me to look at this. The first person is Chioma Okeke. Chioma Okeke is the state coordinator, Association of Civil Societies Against Malaria, Immunization, and Nutrition, ACOMIN. Good morning, Chioma.
Good morning.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Okay, and I also have Edith Onwula. Did I get that?
Onwuka.
It's Onwuka, yeah. Edith Onwuka, Chairperson, Association of Nurses and Midwives. Welcome, Edith.
Thank you
I think
for
I've
having me
hosted you
this
here
day.
once.
Yeah, I think I've seen you once.
All right, you're welcome. Okay. You're looking good.
Thank you.
Today, World Malaria Day. Let me start with you, Chioma. What do we expect to know about today in particular?
Today is a World Malaria Day. The day we appreciate our efforts all these years, and the day we also push more efforts in order to have a zero malaria society. That's the essence of remembering having World Malaria Day, so that we can be able to count our miles and know our challenges and our way forward.
I see. Yeah, Edith. Do you agree with that? Is that all about what we're doing today?
Yeah, I think she has said it all. Today is marked globally for awareness on malaria eradication. Like she said, over decades now, we have been fighting against malaria, using many strategies to ensure we eliminate malaria in Nigeria. So World Malaria Day is time for us to take our stock. What have we done in eradication of malaria? What do we need to do to have a zero malaria country?
Okay, let's start taking the stock now. And when we talk of malaria, I think it's a household disease, or if you ask me. So there are people from different walks of life, especially the downtrodden, that might not really understand what we're saying if we want to continue this way we're going. So I'd like us to bring it down, okay, localize it with our local language too, as we could be mixing it so that people that we're talking to will understand exactly what we're talking about, okay? So Kaine Banyanya, the effort, what we have been able to do to ensure that we eradicate malaria. Chairman.
Okay. The efforts we've been able to put in order to eradicate malaria from the national and the international funders, like distribution of mosquito nets, which was done last year in the state, and also providing malaria drugs to the PHCs at the subsidized prices, which everybody can be able to afford. These are and we also made a lot of sensitizations to the communities.
When you say PHE, what do you mean? Public health?
Primary health centers.
Centers, okay.
Yes,
so if I go there now, Naya malaria, what do I get? I get them free.
I'm not free. Ị ga-akwụ ụgwọ mana ọ ma bụ ụgwọ ị ga-akwụ na ọ bụ na ijelu ụlọ ọgwụ nnukwu ụlọ ọgwụ.
Mana ya ụgwọ ma akwụ ma ọ bụ na nje na chemist jego n'ọgwụ.
Ihe imeji ọgwụ dị na PHC anyị wee compare nke dị na chemist maka na a na-akpachapụ anya wee dị sure na amaala ebe si the source of the drugs ka e wee dị sure na onye ahụ aṅụrụ nke ada alụ ọrụ maọbụ nke ga-enye ya nsogbu n'arụ. So that's why I ji refer ndị mmadụ ọ bụrụ na inwe ka arụ ọkụ na isi ọwa si wee bịa ga ịga na primary health centers dị gị nso eme gị test bụrụ ijere a na-ekpolu ọgwụ malaria nye gị enwe test a ga-eme gị most often test anwa na-abụ free kwa ọ na-abụba free so ọ bụrụ na eme gị test achọpụta na malaria ka ọ bụ na-enye gị ọgwụ malaria n'ụzọ na ebe ego ya pere mpe. Enwekwa other people nọ na free treatment, not just malaria, enwere other medical care services ha na-access na primary health centers na-akwụghị ụgwọ chacha. Ndị ahụ bụkarị ndị enwero ka ọrafa, ndị agadi, ụmụ nwanyị dị ime na ndị ka na-enye nwa ala.
Why the men dinner these ones are basic. Then Kedikis amazing them were a
Emeliana communities, the PGs, President Generals of every community were Jelia no monna.
Okay.
So ndi obuna ma ndi opekata mpe na
Is this functional? Is this functional?
All the functional. Mani mwago na abịa n'ihe niile na a na-enwekwa some lapses enwere ndị afa ha dị ebe anwa ụfọdụ adịghị ejede access the thing ụfọdụ bụrụ ndị nwugolu no ekwesịkwara i-replace ndị ọzọ ka ha nọchie anya ha.
Because I'm hearing this for the first time, that's why I'm asking this question. Let me come to you, Edith. And my question now say ego eja access it treats malaria na health centers. Kedo how little or the pekaling kem onye ga feel na okwanje na health center kan da na lumego kan je go logo. Yeah. You got that? That was why I asked that question. Kedo how small it is?
Yeah, thank you. Like she said, in Anambra State, I'm a health insurance agency, ASHA. So in every community, I'm 100 enrollees that access healthcare services free of charge, just like she has said. So, and the services also includes malaria. In that case, those indigents, they are not expected to pay. Somebody is paying for them. So through the...
Somebody, not government.
Yes, government is paying for them through the provision of basic healthcare provision fund. Then also, time in the past, government distributed anti-malaria drug together with the diagnostic equipment, that's the RDT, rapid diagnostic test. But for now, you know, the problem with Nigeria is that there is over-dependence on these international donors. Once they come and do their intervention, when they leave, there is no sustainability. So those things have fizzled out, and we are still hoping. That's why we are saying there is supposed to be a domesticated fund for malaria that will take care of all these things. For now, most facilities, if you are not among these indigent people, you cannot access malaria treatment for free. You are going to pay on the basis of primary health care policy, which makes the health care to be affordable at all points.
So apart from all these drugs, what other things do you do to prevent malaria?
Let's
look at the nets that you say you are distributing. Okay. Have you been able to tutor people on how well to use the net? And then what other things are you doing to ensure that we don't have malaria, not
Yes.
to talk of taking the drugs?
Yeah, thank you very much. As a public health nurse, we believe so much in prevention. I can tell you that you can use the best anti-malaria drug to treat yourself and get reinfected in the next minute if you don't take care of your environment. First of all, environmental sanitation is basic in malaria control and elimination. Because if we don't take care of environment, mosquitoes will breed there, and even if when you are treated, you will get reinfected soon. So in this case, we advocate good environmental hygiene, making sure that our environment, our surroundings are clean, making sure that containers, all those receptacles that collect dirty waters, which this mosquito can actually breed on, are taken care of. And also clearing of bushes around our house. Then also there's another strategy which we call indoor residual spraying. This one is an advanced one, which when we had a full-fledged support on malaria control, it was done in 2 local governments, Oka South and the Navy North. Oka South and the Oka North, whereby they spray the whole house, and then it can stay for up to 1 year without mosquito entering. And also other methods like using insecticides, teaching our mothers on how to use protective clothing on their children. Because actually there are 2 age groups that malaria affects severely. That's the children under 5 and then the pregnant mothers. And in malaria control, we pay attention, not that the other age group, that malaria doesn't affect them, but because that these 2 age groups, they are immunocompromised. A child that is less than 5 years, the immunity is not all that developed to help him or her to fight against infection. A pregnant mother, because of pregnancy, is somehow immunosuppressed. So we pay particular attention to these 2 groups, the pregnant mother and then the children under 5. That's why if you are pregnant, we advocate that you take up to 3 doses of anti-malaria dose, so that when you deliver your baby, the baby will not have malaria, and the mother also
3 doses while you are pregnant?
Yes,
maybe
IPT1, IPT2, and IPT, yes. We call it intermittent preventive therapy for pregnant mothers. At first trimester, second trimester, you give the first dose. The third trimester, in short, when we started, we were giving 2, but the guideline now says 3. The woman has to receive 3 IPT doses before it can deliver, because malaria also is one of the major causes of, jaundice in children after birth.
I see. Okay, you were looking at me, Chairman, like you wanted to add something else. We are still looking at the ways to prevent this malaria before we get to the activities of today.
Presently, ACOMIN in Anambra State, through the funding of the Global Fund project, because we are working in the community, we've been able to notice that we have a lot of gaps between the community and their primary health centers. And through this project, ACOMIN is trying to strengthen the primary health centers and the community ownership to the primary health center, because most of the communities don't access their PHC due to some gaps. Maybe attitude of the OICs or high cost of the drugs at the health centers. And through our efforts, the Commissioner for Health have already given us the price list for all the medical assistance.
1 minute. So some people don't, some of these PHS don't access their drugs, maybe due to high cost. Are they the people paying? Is it the health centers that pay for the drugs?
Not that the OIC is in charge. OIC, there's the officer
What's
in
OIC?
charge of the nurse, the nurse that is in the midwife that is in charge of the primary health center.
Okay.
She's in control of the medical services they give to the people in the community. But for long there has not been check and balancing, and things are getting out of hand, and the communities don't even know that they have stake in the primary health center.
So how would they know? How would they know? How do you expect them to know? Is there any kind of enlightenment?
That is what we are doing now. Because through the effort, through this project, most communities they are now in their PHCs trying to rebrand it and make sure that it is accessible, because most primary health centers, if you are asked to go there and pick drugs, you won't even go.
When you get there, you look more sick than you came.
Yes.
Now tell me, you wanted to say something about the partnership or the relationship, or what the Commissioner for Health said?
Yes, he presented the prices for every medical services that you were supposed to receive in the primary health centers, and they are now being paced at the primary health centers. It's so that when you are going for this, once you are asked, okay, you delivered a baby, nobody is not now negotiable. You have already known the amount that you're supposed to pay, because the prices are there at the primary health centers, and it's far below of what was obtainable before now.
Okay, prices, because it's expected that you deliver in the PHS normal, okay, normal delivery.
Yeah.
Okay, but then what do I want to ask again? I wanted to find out the pregnant mothers, the children below 5 that were supposed to access free health medical care from this. What effort, apart from what we're doing now, what efforts are you making to make sure that these people know that this is what belong to them, like going to the markets, to the church, to the village squares, to inform them that this is the provision that the government has made for you? Okay, because most of them may not be watching what we're doing now.
Okay, farmer didn't na access that free medical treatment na health centers. Farmer alone for because na how we laugh, how we passport photographs. So Emily or Kaunyo Bona, there's baby beneficiary. So hamalo bro na farmer.
Okay. So thank you very much. Okay, let's look at what's going on today as World Malaria Prevention Day.
Okay, thank you.
I think one of the major things to tackle in trying to eradicate malaria is removing the root cause, which is the mosquitoes that carry the malaria itself, which is what I say, which is what I was referring to when I was talking about, the dirty environment and the liquid, which provides, a suitable medium for mosquitoes to thrive. So once you are able to eradicate maybe the dirty gutters, blockage of drainages, and sewage, uncover sewages, then you eliminate mosquitoes to a considerable amount that allows for decrease in malaria. And then you also talk about issues as regards use of mosquito nets, that is in sleeping, while sleeping. And then, I think with these few things taken care of, I believe that malaria should have been taken care of to a considerable extent.
The best way to fight malaria is by eliminating the causes of malaria. Their breeding spaces, actually, where they breed. From my own little knowledge, I think mosquitoes breed in shallow waters, dirty shallow waters. So that means that the cleaner the environment, the less malaria prevalence, because that will make it difficult for malaria to breathe. So the environment generally, especially in Africa, is not so fantastic. So as long as it remains, mosquito will breed. And as long as mosquito breeds, there will be malaria. So, but I suggest that people should individually, try to eliminate shallow waters from their surroundings, even though that's not easy because during rainy seasons, I mean there are waters everywhere, that's difficult. But I will advise people, if you have shallow water, if you have water, stagnant waters around your area, all you gotta do is probably sprinkle oil or grease that makes it difficult for malaria to survive. So if you can do that, that's another way to curb malaria prevalence in Africa.
This part of the country will have a lot of mosquitoes, so we cannot really eradicate them. So the only way we can do, the better way we can do is for government to provide more mosquito net for people, especially it should be done freely so that more people can get treated mosquito nets.
We just went out to the streets where John de Madajuju, if a fat cello, and you question me, I malaria because now okotokale. Just like I said, by a bit of official, but an is no ketayale for the naya malaria. And of your quarrel, the jetes kita and I malaria parasites na system ya. No, but I do a stick on your national like I wear malify game, destin, I chew on your soup will or a case if we are. Odemba dalono tata dika ina babo war malaria day and I ne anye metuga kai fanyu kwesile me unu kwifende madu kunda ibala ajujono if I kwesime kai we make sure na yana ya malaria and then mbo government na agba dika osi we gbatakwulu n'ime obodo si to make sure na onye obuna well access to health care. Yotago unugo no nwere ndị enyel ndị na under free care mago courtesy of government free medical care ya bara obo nwa gide obo na nwa ga agafebe arụ ise o ya bara ikpole aje na health center o di free okwo isi na aga akwobele ụgwọ before ha je bịa tụọ ọgụ si na ekuwe na ada akwụ ụgwọ okwo isi na aga na akwobele ụgwọ kwa free
a na-akwụ obele ụgwọ sọsọ ma ndị dị ndị edenyela afafa na ndị ama na-akwụ ụgwọ enwe ndị afafa dị o dipende na ezinụlọ o si wee pụta.
Ị na-etinye ezinụlọ like itinyere ezinụlọ Ijeọma because na m okwu nwa dị under 5 years onya nna amụzi ha na-abanyekwa na the line because na afọ anyị adịghị nna amụkwa that once na-abanyekwa na the line of free healthcare.
So long as na the program carry on, gị na nwa gị, this free medical so far na ịdị afa gị dị ebe anwa, ị ga na-anata dị.
Before my 5 years, I'm going to go I channel under free medical. Oh, my mother just to nurse or na healthcare. Say na ni akwa say na access. You got a free medical care. I can't do this question. You got a feminine nurse. Yeah. Ka malo mo limitation.
Onwe limitation. Because na limitation ya obo na edi ime ụmụ nwanyị ndị dị ime. Oburo otu am nọ kịta mma na m ga-afford ọgwụ malaria ma ọ bụ na arụ adịrọ m ejedenye afa m na the program because na m dị ime.
There are indigent ones afafa there. So what I asked about or where more ụmụ nine ọ ga-amụ for the covered the indigent woman edenyela afia because no nwere ke ekwugo health I mean not see what I feel na maka fa na amu nine dey that's not what I call
na health insurance scheme where age limits and number of persons in the family that to be covered on the scheme. For example, of National Health Insurance Scheme, the mother, the father, and then children under the age of 5.
Okay.
yes, can access free medical treatment if they are servicing the scheme. For example, if you're a federal staff, automatically some percentage of your salary is being set aside. I'm coming. The Anambra State, enwere ezigboto policy Anambra State wepụtara, and a na-akpọ ya adoption policy. Some of these big men na abụha ha gote mmanya nye ndị village ha ṅụba can as well invest this money. Ihe ọ ga-ewe ha in a year to enroll a household is 12,000 naira. In the past, I know
household of how many people?
Household of at least less than 5. But I don't know the details of Nkenda Anambra, how it covers. But no matter the number, it's something. So some of these big men, we advocate, instead of, going for something that has no value, let them invest that money, pay for them in the ASHA so that they can access care, because what government is taking care is 100 per ward that is covered by this basic health care provision fund. Then other people, the philanthropists can as well enroll more people and then pay their premium annually so that those people can access care. Because I've worked in a rural area where for that I've lost like 3 babies because of malaria. The next thing they do, conversion. Abia say again, ana wote nchuangu, na wote udake, ana ete as no bad spirit, ana akpo Holy Ghost fire. Whereas conversion is complication of severe malaria.
Really?
So because that they don't have money to access care, or they don't have access to health facility, arok ne lenwa happier. Ha happier and they go to oguna chemist nenye. And another challenge I know na malaria eradication, but resistance of drug. Because nandaba ya mutaging ogwa agara. In many countries today, chloroquine derivative is still their first line of drug in treating malaria. But in Nigeria, due to drug abuse, it is not our first line drug for treatment of malaria because of what? Resistance, multiple resistance. That's why they invented ACT. And to prevent this resistance, that's why we are hammering. Before you take anti-malaria drug, make sure you run tests. And that's why government provided that RDT, rapid diagnostic test. Just like this we are talking, they will just give you pinprick, test it. If you are positive, they treat you for malaria. And let us also know that it's not only malaria that can cause fever, but in our community, malaria. And infection can cause fever. Fever. And many other things. Malaria. So for us to use this ACT or last line before I develop resistance, we advocate for investigation before receiving malaria treatment.
Investigation before treatment. Odima, I read one Professor Aribodo's presentation where he was saying that that people, because of poverty, he mentioned a whole lot of things, and this attitude towards our health care or inability of the government to provide health care for its citizens, that people now resort to concoctions like dogoyaro, a whole lot of things. Is anybody with us? Yeah, hello. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning, sir. Dalo, Gekime. Mazi Olwebube.
Yes, I'm from Moka.
Okay, welcome.
And my Lord, nobody has told me, I can't be one of your guests in the when I said, Even after today, that this knowledge and jingle about health continues because we had a Malaria. Put something on daily basis issues because it's just like she was explaining. Malaria and those chloroquine disappear from our medication. Why do not kind of that chloroquine, but it just disappeared and different types of recommendations. One, eventually, all these chemists that are selling these drugs, and the Ministry of Health do a round check and to make sure they are oriented now. They must come with evidence of test results. Okay, because now, to sentiment, just like one on you, want to carry no more compulsion and can chop a medical solution, and then they be a man and all of those. So, can the ministry insist that anything must be with results administered by the medical lab? Can we get in just for sake of fun and they actually make money out of people? And you've been recommending the medical drugs. I don't want that they develop resistance. So I think beyond today, this jingle should continue.
Okay.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Chioma and the rest of the ABS, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Can I respond to what you said?
Yes, briefly,
actually, there are people regulating the patent medicine vendors, and they are the pharmaceutical.
But before you go on with the response, please, let's take a little break. We're coming back, and when we come, we'll give you time to talk. Yeah.
Anambra, una potagola.
Ibolachi.
Good morning, Anambra.
Welcome to Good Morning Anambra Breakfast TV show on ABS TV.
Let's do it together. Bia Kaido Wawa. We serve it sizzling hot.
Health and lifestyle.
Security.
Topical issues.
National development.
Entertainment and more.
Welcome to the flagship show where we arm you with the right tools for the day.
Keeping you abreast with happenings and information within and beyond the state.
There are so many things to gain staying tuned to Good Morning Anambra on ABS TV.
Heartbeats of the East.
Good Morning Anambra, live on ABS television. Weekdays, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Great news for Anambra Broadcasting Service ABS audience. You can now watch ABS television through any of these ways.
Buy a terrestrial antenna and connect to your television. Search ABS Channel 24 Oka or ABS Channel 27 Onitsha. Install StarTimes cable decoder and search ABS Channel 113. Install Metro Digital cable decoder and search ABS Channel 29.
Watch ABS TV on your smart TV or smartphone by downloading Anambra Broadcasting Service app on Google Play Store. Also watch via ABS Facebook page at ABS Radio Television and ABS YouTube page at ABS Television Oka.
ABS TV is now also on satellite. You can watch us from anywhere in Nigeria and other African countries. Simply install ViewSat TV decoder or any other free-to-air decoder and tune into channel 0031.
Whichever option you choose, stay abreast of breaking news, documentaries, children's shows, talk shows, comedy, sports, movies, and lots more on your darling TV station.
For adverts and program sponsorship, contact 0803 388 8526 or 0806 883 9902.
ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
Welcome back. It is still Good Morning Anambra Tuesday edition, and we are still looking at World Malaria Prevention Day. And I've been around with Chioma and Edith, and just right now, somebody else joined us. He is Nonso Ndibe. Nonso is the Anambra State Malaria Control Officer. Good morning, Nonso, and thanks for coming late.
Good morning, Anambra.
Okay. Well, we have talked a lot before now, but let me push the remaining to you. What is today all about? Tell us.
Okay, thank you. Today, as we all know, is 25th of April, and it's a day set aside by United Nations, specifically the World Health Organization, to commemorate malaria and remind us of what malaria is and the scourge it causes across the world. We all know that malaria is a very deadly disease. It kills so many people every year, especially children, and there's the importance to always bring our attention to it. And especially this year that we're talking about increasing funding, increasing spending from governments, bringing the attention of the governments of different countries to the need to put in more funds to ensure that malaria is eradicated.
Okay, thank you very much. What are the activities that you have mapped out for today's celebration? Is anything going on?
Okay, yeah, we already, some of my people are in other radio stations and TV stations where we are going to, because what Malaria Day is all about, sensitizing people, awareness creation. That's basically what we do. So we are using the radios. When we step out of this place, we're going to do a walk to pick out malaria. And we also have
where do you take off and where do you end?
We will take off from here, from ABS, and just move around the Poema Square and probably terminate at either the Secretariat or at Aroma Junction.
Okay, apart from that, do
we
you
also have
share free drugs, free nets, whatever?
For this year,
Come on.
For this year, why we say sensitization is that just last year, as at this time last year, or maybe later last year, around August, September, we shared about 3.8 million nets, around almost, we covered households around Anambra State. And so what we want to do this year is to sustain that effort by preaching to people that, yes, we collected these nets, we should also sleep in them. But it's not only about nets. We are talking about eradicating malaria. We are saying so many things. One, like this year, is saying, act now. What can you do on your own path to stop malaria? So we are advising people to do what you can. Right now we're in the rainy season. Remove all stagnant water around you. So because mosquitoes breed, usually we have a spike in malaria during rainy season because that's where the female Anopheles mosquito breeds. And of course, we're talking to people about whenever you have fever or feel unwell, always make sure you get tested before being treated. Don't just assume, oh, this is malaria. No, always get tested because a lot of things can actually cause malaria. And then we're also telling our women, particularly those who are pregnant, once you are due for antenatal, go for antenatal because as from 12 weeks, there's a drug that is given to every pregnant woman for prevention of malaria, which you take till birth. And of course, we also talk about other things that people do to, sleep inside. Okay, I mentioned sleeping inside the nets, and then wearing the long clothes and to cover yourselves. But recently, there's good news. There has been a vaccine that has been worked upon for years ago, and is now competition. The trials took place in 3 countries, Kenya and 2 other countries, and we want to announce that WHO has actually approved, that was last year, approved the use of that drug for prevention of malaria. And this year, the Federal Ministry of Health, Nigeria, has also approved that vaccine to be used for routine immunization. And within the next few months, it will be rolled out and to get to us.
Really?
Yes.
So how safe is that? You sure we're not going to have this sentiment of COVID-19 and that of the, what do you call it? This other one that they give. Yeah, you can.
Okay. I'm the state immunization officer, and last week we had what we call annual vaccine forecasting for the country and the state-specific forecasting for Anambra State. Actually, the malaria vaccine, like he has said, has been approved, but from what we were told, is going to kickstart next year because there is series of process before introduction of new vaccine. The one we are going to roll out this year is human papillomavirus vaccine for children within the age of, yes, either 9 years to 18 years. That's the one we are going to start this year.
What is that one for?
Against cervical cancer. Okay. Yes, HPV, human papillomavirus vaccine.
You
so,
but look at me that way. This is in the office. I'm not a health officer. I'm not a health officer.
So, for malaria vaccine, they are making preparation. Once they conclude at the national level, there will be national TOT. Here we now go, and then they will mentor us or teach us on the modalities of implementing. Exactly. And actually, from what they are saying, it's going to be a life-saving vaccine. And I pray that there will be sufficient quantities, just like Rota. If you observe this year, we don't have outbreak of gastroenteritis because late last year we introduced rotavirus vaccine.
Against
diarrhea in children 0 to 5 years.
Oh, okay.
And here we are in Anambra now enjoying no outbreak of diarrhea in any local government.
Let me just give you
So our own immunization is to make sure that when that vaccine comes, everybody will get it.
Everybody will get it. And, I advise that you start sensitization now.
Even the wife of governor have said, anybody selling Rota vaccine, we should just collect the details and give to her. She will use that person as a scapegoat.
Anybody
so in Anambra, we don't sell vaccine. Okay. Vaccine is free, whether you are poor, you are rich. So far you are accessing the facility, you will get. Because there are some that we carry to their household, there are some that is facility-based, you have to come to the facility. So malaria vaccine is going to be facility-based. It's only when you access the facility that you can take malaria vaccine. So we are now telling in the Anambra,
that's what I'm trying to say, that you need to do a lot of sensitization, okay, to get people, before you come in, because we are running out of time. Chioma, let's look at the challenges that you guys are having. Is there any way you want the government to come in? Is there any way you feel that's something that needed to be done and have not been done or that needed to do?
Yes, most of the time, all these interventions are being done by the funders. And after they have gone, the sustainability is not always there. So we cannot fold our hands and continue waiting for international communities to be funding us for the disease that is killing our people. Our government needs to pick up where the international intervention stopped so that the continuity of what has been started will also go a long way in order to eliminate to achieve the purpose why the international community come in at the initial stage.
Funding. Now, so 30 seconds. What?
Okay, I didn't get a specific question, but
what I asked is there anything? What are the challenges you are having? Okay. And then is there any way you want to
mention part of it? Basically because malaria is mostly donor-driven, not just Nigeria, all over Africa. And actually, we're making some efforts. Like last year, I know that the governor governor is actually very interested in malaria. The wife is the net ambassador. And they graciously released some funds for us to do the flag off and other things. And I believe that is something that is ongoing. This year's theme is very, very key. It says invest, innovate, implement. It's actually directed at the governments. The government of Nigeria. By that I mean the federal government and state government, and even the local governments. That this is the time for us to come out, because most of the countries that, I think Sri Lanka about 2 years ago, they were certified malaria-free. A poor country, poorer than Nigeria. So most of the countries that have actually identified malaria, actually, the government actually came in front and sat in the driver's seat and not sitting and waiting for the donors to come. And I believe that we are getting there, and from this year forward, this will be the key message to invest, and because if you want your people to be alive, you have to invest because the healthy nation is a wealthy nation.
You invest in their healthcare elite.
Like I said, public health nurse that believes so much in prevention, because it is said that prevention is better than cure. Yes, we have to align this year's theme to the area of what? Prevention, there are some aspects we cannot do without government support or donor agencies supporting us. For example, environmental hygiene. What does it take us to keep our environment clean? Let's start from there. Do our own parts at that level. Ndị Anambra, and leave the rest of them. Yeah, and leave the rest of them. Because when your environment is healthy, like I said, you can take best malaria drug today and go back and get reinfected. Let us keep our environment clean so that the mosquito will not breed and will be free from malaria.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Nonso Ndibe, Anambra State Malaria Control Officer. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, and then thank you, Chioma Okeke, State Coordinator, Association of Civil Societies Against Malaria, Immunization and Nutrition.
Thank you. Malaria can be eliminated from the society with the help of you and me.
I see. And then Edith Onwuka, Chairperson, Association of Nurses and Midwives. It is also the Anambra State Immunization Officer. Thank you for coming, Edith. Prevention, they say, is better than cure. I don't want to suffer malaria. It's the hell. You know, it's a lot of wahala. You lose a whole lot of things. Even those of us that are working, you use man hours in the office. And then what is upon the children away. So let's just take care of our environment, take care of our health, ensure you conduct tests before you take drugs. That's what we'll have to take home today. Thank you. My name is Sijoma. Well, thank you for being with us. Thank you, the camera guys. Thank you, the Good Morning Anambra team. Perusa Ifi, Amaka Okeke, the director, and a whole lot of people in the house. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you.